continue to follow this story right now. I think we're going to get to Brandon in just a minute, but right now, let's go straight to Bob Barrett with the Central Arizona Project. Of course, we know the canal system, very important here in the desert. Bob, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Hey, we're doing great.
How are you doing? And how are the canals holding up? That's the question this morning, right?
There's absolutely no problems with the canal at this point in time.
So tell us a little bit about, though, with all this water, obviously it's a huge impact.
Okay, it does have a large impact, but you have to remember that our system enters the valley in the far northwest, well above Happy Valley Road, goes across the valley and then swings down south toward Tucson. So most of the major areas that have been getting rain this morning have not been along our system. We do have personnel out, and they're watching it. The Agua Fria River is ramping up, so the inflow into Lake Pleasant is very good. So the level of the lake is rising, which portends good things for us as we get farther into the summer and the hot weather. And also at this point in time, our numerous agricultural customers are shutting down. Obviously they don't need water from us; they're getting it for free. So the demand is low, which will allow us to store more water into Lake Pleasant.
Well, I think that's the thing. When you're driving out into some of these areas and you see so many dry riverbeds and you see the lower lake levels, and you're wondering this morning, for people who are worried about our water supply, what is this doing to kind of build up reserves again? Can you take us behind the scenes a little bit and let us know where this water is going and what happens?
Okay, the water is coming down from up north, like Black Canyon City and farther north. It's coming down the Agua Fria riverbed, and it's going into Lake Pleasant. Now, that is helping us in terms of water storage, because Lake Pleasant is the Central Arizona Project's storage reservoir. A lot of people go boating and swimming and fishing, but its primary purpose is to hold that water for dry spells. And then we can let water out of Pleasant and serve all our downstream customers, which are all the major cities in the valley.
We were talking the other day about a potential mega drought, a decades-long drought. This obviously is great news in the short term. Does this help us to come out of that long-term drought, or is this all short-term gains?
Short-term, strictly short-term. They're not pouring enough water on us to get out of the mega drought. And for us to really get out of the mega drought, you have to look at what's happening on the Colorado River, not necessarily what's happening in-state.
And so for us, as we take a look at Lake Pleasant a little closer, then how far down were we, and what do we hope this does for us?
Well, the last big storm that came through rose the level of Lake Pleasant by about 4 feet. So I would hope that this one would do something comparable to that, and that's very good, because anything we can store in Pleasant now, we can use later, or at the end of the so-called water year, we can take some of that water out and store it underground for future drought.
Yeah, which would be great. What's the end of the water year? When does that happen?
October 1.
October 1.
Or that's the beginning of the year, so obviously end of September.
Banking it while we can,
yeah,
right?
This is great news if you're an accountant for the water district.
Pretty much, yeah, but if you're trying to drive through it, it's not so good.
Yeah, not so good today. Bob, thanks so much. We appreciate you taking us kind of behind the scenes there of the Central Arizona Project to let us know what this impact has as far as our water supplies go. We appreciate it.
Yeah, great perspective there,
yeah.
Something that you wouldn't think about. Perhaps, again, short-term gains. Brandon Hamilton.